Hi, welcome back to Tired the Group official YouTube channel. This is Love. I wanted to do a requested video on how to get a man to invest. So before I begin, I would like to go ahead and give a disclaimer that if you have the correct target, if he's old enough, if he's wealthy enough, you will not have to worry about a man giving you money. Men offer women money because they literally make money in order to hand it to us, right? So it shouldn't feel like a task in order to have a man invest in you. And if you already feel like you're working way too hard, trying to say all the right things, wear all the right things in order to gain a man's attention, you're doing it backwards. Because now you're chasing him when he should be chasing you and giving you money to entertain him. Okay? So I'd also like to say, to start off, that my exes, they did not put me in a certain position. I used the resources that they gave me and I put myself there. So I've probably only had one ex that met me at a particularly difficult financial time, where my ex-boyfriend actually was arrested, believe it or not. And he was arrested, but he was like still helping me out with some of my bills. That was like the plan, right? So I wanted to get out of the relationship officially. I left. And I was in school at the time, and our arrangement was that he would still assist me with like paying my car payment and my phone bill so that I could go ahead and get through the manicuring art curriculum. And it was, how can I put it? It didn't last long, because shortly after he was arrested, and so that just left me in a terrible position because I was depending on him to provide a certain lifestyle for me, which is why I don't recommend that you completely depend on a man. I will be honest with you, like sometimes you just don't know if a person is being totally honest with you, and men can live double lives. You know, this may be a high value man that you meet on the outside, but he could be into some like white collar crime that you know nothing about. So you have to be very careful about that and just cover yourself. Have your own money, your own source of income, so that if anything ever happens, they cannot freeze your assets because it shows where your income is coming from, okay? And I know I sound like a mob wife right now. But I'm just being completely honest. You never know. Like, I had no idea that he was going to be arrested. As a matter of fact, I took it pretty hard, and I found it difficult to think clearly. I was really stressed out. I could barely eat because this is a person who I'm accustomed to literally seeing just about every day, or at least talking to every single day. And at one point we lived together. So for him to just disappear abruptly, I was like devastated. And so the next person that I met that I actually took seriously just happened to be older, happened to be wealthy. And so he sort of cleaned up some of the financial mistakes that I made up in that time, got me caught up on some things. And so that was great. He came into it with the mindset like, let's get you all the way together. But in other relationships, I've had to just take their resources and make things happen for myself because they did not come into it with that mindset. They still were taking care of me, but it wasn't like, oh, let me get you set up for the future. Some men don't think from a future perspective, which is why it's very important to date a high value man, because he will think for the future, right? But ultimately, your life is yours. And it's really your responsibility. So don't leave it up to them to make those kind of suggestions or tell you, hey, maybe you should save this amount and spend this amount. Like, make it happen for yourself. Anytime a man gives me money, I really think and consider, what do I have to pay for, right? Is there something that I can save? How much of this should I save? Is there anything I need, like maybe a new outfit or some new shoes? Like, are my shoes becoming worn? Because in order to be classy, you can't just have classy pieces. They also have to be neat, right? And you want them to not be ripped and, torn in any kind of manner. So just to look well put together at all times, you want to have really nice pieces. So keep that in mind, that you have to put yourself in certain positions. Don't always depend on them. The next thing, there's a saying that says, a good woman is an investment and a bad bitch is a bill. And I firmly believe in that. I think that we really have to consider going into business for ourselves, right? So right now, I do have an internship. After this internship, I don't plan on working for anyone else. And I told myself that 2020 is the last year that I will have to be employed by someone other than myself, because I don't want it. I don't like working for other people. It doesn't work when I do. I may have a great experience at a job, but I can't stay there long term. I either get sexually harassed or someone becomes jealous of me, and it's just like, it's too much. I also don't like the structure of having to wake up at a certain time in the morning, get myself together, put on makeup, dress up really nice, and then have to go out in rush hour traffic to make it to work, because it's just stressful. It just is. And so with that investment, make sure that you're putting your money into a business, or if you genuinely don't even want to work for yourself, find an investor who can put your money into something that can work for you, okay, and make your money work for you. The next thing, don't entertain men who won't invest. So this is a huge thing, right? If you want a man to invest in you and you're dating someone who is just not that type of person, or even like some men will blatantly say, I don't spend this kind of money on women, I won't pay for this, I won't pay for that, just go ahead and cut him off. And another thing, make your standards known in the beginning so that they already know what to expect. I really don't date men who aren't providers. I tend to attract men who know how to treat a lady, who are very respectful. And if you say that know how to treat a lady to an older man, they'll understand what you mean. And just make sure that you always want more, like always want something, not being like in a needy manner, but keep him on his toes, make him want to work for something, show him things that you like. Tell him about a new idea that you have. Hey, babe, I know you already give me a certain amount of money, and I really wanted to figure out a way where I could start bringing in some income for myself, and it will also give me a new hobby, and tell him about your business. I know with my brands, I have dated some pretty open-minded men, and they were willing to give me the money so I could invest in myself, and they were not expecting anything in return. So don't allow anyone to tell you, oh, well, this will be half of my company, or how can I get involved? Will I receive any of the proceeds? Because that's just not the same, right? Another thing, genuinely don't need him. Like, when you come off as a needy individual, you always need money for this and that, like, it's unattractive. Like, when they meet you, just have yourself together already. You don't have to brag about what you spend, how much you make, where you work at. I think that's a big no-no. And across the board, I think you should always tell men that you are a part-time receptionist, and that you love your job. You meet a lot of really friendly people and you just like helping. Or you can tell them that you work at your family business for your parents and that they don't pay you very much, but you just like gaining the experience. Either way, downplay your job, especially if you make a significant amount of money. Okay, so those are just a few of my tips. Make sure you use your resources when they give it to you so that you can invest in yourself and you're not blatantly asking them for it. Make sure that you are investing into yourself so that you have your savings account, that you just have all of your ducks in a row, making sure your bills are paid, things of that nature. And next, don't entertain men who won't invest. So the quickest way to get someone to invest is if they already have the mindset of investing. And the last thing I'll say to you all is stop dating these young men and stop dating these fine men, okay? If he's young and unattractive, he still may not invest in you because he hasn't gotten to the point where he feels like he just can't get anyone yet, right? But when he gets older, like 48, 50, old and decrepit, he's going to start thinking about his options, right? Like, goodness, I really don't have a lot of women to choose from. And that's why older men, not only because of what generation they come from, but older men typically will invest more into a younger woman, and they just like to help as well. Like, the nature of a man is to provide. So if you meet someone that doesn't have that natural instinct to just give to you, that's a problem. My other thing would be, don't turn a lot of stuff down. Like, if he asks you, oh, do you need anything this month? Don't say no. Like, tell him to give you some money, make something up, but be open to receive so that he knows that you are welcome to the help, and be so grateful. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You have no idea. I really needed this. You answered my prayers, because I was praying and I was really thinking about how I was going to get the money for this. And then he'll start saying things like, well, if you need anything, just let me know, and things of that nature. So allow them to open that door, but you have to be open to receive first, because you have to remember, Pygmisha's out there and she's turning money down left and right, okay? Oh, I don't need a man for this. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. And it's one thing to be independent, but it's another thing to not need a man. Did you hear that? You can be independent and still have the mindset that you need a man for security, for protection, etc. All right? So I really hope that helped, that you take heed to these strategies of how to get a man to invest. And if there's anything that you would like to suggest as a new topic, or you would like me to explain something more in depth, please reach out to me and let me know. I love you, lovies. Bye.